Today on Deep in the Heart of Taxes, you may be eligible to receive 2 refund checks from the IRS this year. The IRS may be sending out millions of incorrect dates on their notices. And the Center for Taxpayer Rights files an Amicus Brief with the United States Supreme Court regarding the Anti-Injunction Act. You're going to want to stay tuned. Okay, got the coughing out of the way. Welcome, fellow tax nerds, to Deep in the Heart of Taxes. Here's where the cool kids hang out. This is the only show where we take the time to boil down all of the relevant tax law news that's fit to share. And, of course, some of it that's not. But it's all done so that you don't have to worry about it. I'm your host, Jack Manhire. I'm your co-host, Carrie Fox. And I'm your co-host, Dr. Tyler Kyle. Here are the headlines. You might end up getting 2 separate tax refund checks this year. Now, here's why. Again, most listeners know this, but if you get a refund, in most cases, because things like the earned income tax credit are a little bit different, but in most cases, you're getting a refund because you either had too much money withheld as a W-2 employee, say, or you paid too much in estimated tax payments. And usually those are done on a quarterly basis, so they can be done more frequently depending on your situation. So if you're getting money back, you're not getting money from the IRS in the sense that the IRS is somehow paying you money out of the Treasury. Really, I always thought that was the IRS is giving me money that was extra money for me. No, see, it's not extra money. That's just it. It's your money that you paid in advance of the tax day, meaning, hey, tax day is going to come up. Instead of writing a big check, the law requires that they boil the frog, excuse me. That's much better. Thank you. Boil the frog slowly, and that you pay in as you go. You really pay in advance as you go. And then when April 15th comes, you reconcile that. And if you paid too much, you get money back. But it's your money. It's just that the IRS was holding it. Now, since it's your money, you could actually be owed interest on that money. Really? So if I paid money in early, I get money on my tax refund. Well, not in all cases, but if the IRS delays in issuing you that refund, you are entitled to interest. And this year, with the affliction, Jack, the affliction. You're right, the affliction. I'm sorry. With the affliction that we all went through and are still going through, tax day was pushed back from April 15th to yesterday, July 15th. And because of that, refunds were delayed, so to speak. And so if you received a refund between April 15th and July 15th, you're entitled to 5% of your 5% on the money on your money that you're getting back. In other words, the money that the IRS was holding for you, and it took a longer time to get back to you. If it's after July 15th, then it's going to be 3%. Now, you're going to probably get 2 checks for this. Okay, or 2 deposits if you're doing it electronically. It's going to be 2 separate transactions. Now, is that second check going to be huge? Well, it really depends on your refund, right? But the average refund check is around $2,700, okay, plus or minus. It's an estimate. So 20% of that average is probably, $20 to $30. In other words, if you're exactly in the median and you're in the mean, and you're the average taxpayer and you get about $2,700 and change back, that second check is probably going to be between $20 to $30. Now, $20 to $30 may not seem like a lot for a lot of people. Oh, it certainly seems like chump change to me. I mean, it's $20 to $30. That's no big deal. Maybe that's a blue banana or something like that. It seems like a lot of money to me and my folks. I'll tell you that. Well, it can be a lot of money. I can tell you, having as many kids as I have, $20 to $30 sometimes is milk. It's certainly not enough for an entire pizza party for the family, but $20 to $30 makes a difference when things are tight, and when people have lost their jobs, and or have had to take pay cuts, or have lost their hours. That extra $20 to $30 makes a difference. Sometimes it's part of a utility bill. Sometimes, like I said, it's some food. So again, look for that. As always, if you need the money faster, if you need that refund money faster, electronically file. Paper filing takes considerably longer than electronic filing on average to process and to get your money back. Okay, but again, expect that you might get 2 checks, and please don't be surprised by that. It's not an error if you get one larger check and one smaller check. The IRS may be issuing millions of notices with wrong dates. From Peter J. Riley at Forbes. Aaron M. Collins, who's the National Taxpayer Advocate, recently wrote that during the shutdown, the IRS generated more than 20 million notices. 20 million. However, because of the shutdown, these were not mailed. And as a result, many of the notices, if not all of them, bear dates that have now passed, and some by several months. So some of the notices that require taxpayers to respond by certain deadlines have passed. And as many of my listeners know, these deadlines can either be what we call soft deadlines, or they could be hard deadlines. The soft ones, less critical than the hard ones. Okay. So what we're seeing here is dates that have passed. And put yourself in the taxpayer situation here. You get a notice from the IRS. Now, I used to work for the IRS, and before they used to just electronically give us the pay stubs, they would direct deposit our money, but they would still mail us the pay stub. And working for the IRS, I would every month get an envelope that said Internal Revenue Service, and I'd have a small heart attack. So, and I work for them. Now imagine your normal taxpayer gets an envelope from the IRS. They're already having a small heart attack. They open it up, and here's what they get. They get one piece of paper that is the notice, and then it gives them the information and the dates. If you've seen these notices, they aren't necessarily very clear already. All right, so you're probably already a little confused. Then the envelope it came in is going to have a little insert. The insert is going to say that due to the challenges of the affliction that we're going through, the date on the notice may have already passed. And if that's the case, don't worry about the date. Okay? And that's all it's going to say? That's all it's going to say. Oh, good gravy. Really? What are they thinking? Exactly. Okay? You're just going to get a letter from the letter from the IRS. You're going to get a separate thing that says, don't worry about the dates. And again, these aren't just one type of notice. These are all types of notices that are going out. Okay? There's some are going out for various, again, hard deadlines, for soft deadlines, and having both represented taxpayers in the private sector and having worked for the IRS, I can tell you that folks that are really facing hard deadlines, a number of them, in many cases are going through situations where they don't need any more confusion in their life. Okay? They don't need any more confusion in their life. So having this happen is going to cause even more confusion, and it might not just be double the confusion. there might be, if you will, an exponential growth in the confusion. This is no good. It's not only going to hurt the taxpayers, but what's going to happen to the IRS lines? Service Center is going to be receiving all of these calls from confused taxpayers by saying, oh, I got a notice and it said I shouldn't pay attention to the deadline. What does that mean? Right? Okay. So do me a favor right now. Let me know in the comments section what you think should happen to these notices. Okay? According to Peter Riley at Forbes, he thinks that the IRS should just mulch the notices and print out new ones. Okay? In other words, burn all the old ones, get rid of them, and let's just print new notices for the sake of taxpayers. 20 million notices, that's a lot of paper. Sure, that's a lot of ink, but imagine the confusion that can be saved by doing that. What do you think? If you think that the IRS should get rid of the notices, in the comments, write burn the notices. If you think that the IRS should just let it be and leave the inserts, write in the comments, leave the inserts. I'd like to see what you're thinking. Okay. So Peter Riley, first after suggesting that people mulch the various notices, goes on to say, here's probably what you should do. And this is his advice, not necessarily technical advice, but advice as a contributor to Forbes. Obviously, if you get something from the IRS, open it up right away. Keep the envelope showing the postmark and when it was mailed. Record carefully the date that you received it. And carefully read the entire notice and any inserts in the package. Now, be sure to respond timely to the notice, especially if it's a hard deadline, such as a Form 12153, which is a request for a CDP or a collection due process hearing. Because if you don't get those in by certain statutory deadlines, you're going to be in trouble. Okay. So make sure that those things are done. Wow. Are you okay? What do you mean? Well, you keep on clearing your throat. I know. I had something this morning that's like stuck in my throat, like too much phlegm or something like that. Well, I guess it's kind of like that, but it's, I keep clearing my throat, and I apologize for all the people that are listening. It's probably very annoying. Well, for all the people in the studio, it's pretty annoying too, Jack. Maybe you should take a drink of water and move on. Okay. I'll do that. Why don't we move on to the next headline? In between, I'll take a drink of water. So while I'm taking a drink of water, Carrie, why don't you take the beginning of the next headline so I can get that water and clear up my throat, okay? Okay, yes. Oh, my pleasure. Okay. Yes, this is Carrie Fox, your host currently. And from Les Book's blog, Procedurally Taxing, comes the headline, Center for Taxpayer Rights files amicus brief in support of CIC in Supreme Court. And Les writes that he, along with Nina Olson, who I love, who used to be the National Taxpayer Advocate, but now is the leader of the Center for Taxpayer Rights, and Keith Fogg, and Carl Smith, and Megan Horn of Thompson and Knight, and on behalf of the Harvard Tax Clinic, they all filed an amicus brief. And the issue concerns the Anti-Injunction Act. The case is CIC v. IRS, and CIC is a micro captive manager, a captive insurance manager, and also involved is the tax advisor for CIC. Okay. Thank you very much, Carrie. I'm back and I feel a lot better. I appreciate the break. Oh, but Jack, I'm doing really well. Why don't you just let me finish? No, you're doing outstandingly well. I'm just concerned that someone's going to come in and wonder if this is the same show. Oh God. Okay. I'll let you do more in the future. How about that? You did a fantastic job. That's fine. I don't. Okay. Onward. So the amicus brief is an opportunity to explore the Anti-Injunction Act, or the AIA. And the issue is whether the AIA shields the IRS's information gathering requirements issued in IRS Notice 2016-66, Order 66, from APA scrutiny outside traditional tax enforcement proceeds. And there are some developments, so to speak, in the AIA in light of the 2015 Supreme Court opinion in Direct Marketing Association v. Broll, and some of the more recent scholarship by people like Professor Kristen Hickman and also Gerard Kurska. Then they call into question whether the AIA should bar pre-enforcement challenges. And so this argument, this amicus brief, I think is very interesting. You want to go to Procedurally Taxing. That's Les Book and Keith Fogg's blog. And you'll be able to read more about the amicus brief, more about the issues, and watch this space. We'll see how this case turns out and what it means for the AIA. Well, Jack, don't you want to ask them about their comments? Yes, Jack, you told us in the pre-briefing that you wanted more comments. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, of course. And let us know what you think about the amicus brief and about the issues in the AIA. If you are a scholar, if Kristen is listening to this, or if other folks that write on administrative law, especially administrative law as it concerns tax issues, let us know what you think about the amicus brief issues and the issues in general in the CIC case. All right, thanks for listening. That's the show for today. If you liked it, hit the like button, the little thumbs up button. For all you Aggies, that's the gig 'em button. And please share it. Please share it to your other platforms. As always, Facebook is the platform that gives us the widest exposure and gets the message out to the most people. But really, to any of your platforms, please share. Also, subscribe and hit the bell icon. Do both. You want to hit subscribe and hit the bell icon. That will allow you to be notified when new shows are posted, when they drop. We do try to get these out almost daily, but they drop at different times depending on the news breaking and other things in our schedules. It takes me a while sometimes to get the three of us together. So hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. And thank you for listening today to Deep in the Heart of Taxes. I'm Jack Manhire. I'm Carrie Fox. And I'm Dr. Kyle. No, I'm not. Who am I? I'm Dr. Tyler Kyle. Okay. We're all wishing you many happy returns.